Hey guys, welcome back. So I had a change of heart. I was gonna go do Bleak Falls Barrow. Say that 5 times fast. And or I was debating that or a milk run. But honestly, for the purposes of this walkthrough, especially if you've never played the game before, I'm actually gonna go a different route. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Whiterun first. Reason being, there's some magic we can get while we're there, and we've got the gold to do that. So that'll actually help a little bit in combat. So right now we've got a follower, and we've got us. So that's 2 versus whatever crowd we're dealing with. There's a magic spell we can buy at Whiterun that gives us a 3rd. You can cast or summon another creature. See, I'm actually going to do that so that we can have, 3 versus whatever nest we're dealing with. And that'll just kind of help with your survivability, and honestly, it's just really, really freaking cool anyway. So yeah, we're definitely going to hit Whiterun first. And, speaking of increasing followers, that's actually a way in this game to have 2. And that's not a mod or anything. There's a storyline where you have a follower that you have to take her home. And all you have to do is just not take her home, and she'll follow you literally around everywhere. And she doesn't actually count as a follower. So she's just there for combat and to help you out. While you and your regular follower are also there. So yeah, it's freaking awesome. Anyway, enough babbling about that. And you go ahead and make my way straight to Whiterun, and I'm going to follow the yellow brick road. Follow the main road here. So now here's our good friend Riverwood. Here's our new buddy, the archer. And off we go. Now there's a lot of loose lootables here. And before I actually go right into the town... it's kind of out of the way. Never mind. There's so many goodies around here, it's like hard to, stay on track. Talk about shiny rocks. Holy guacamole. I'm going to start tapering back on the thistles a little bit. Okay, there is that slowdown on the timing. You can see it really slows things down. It really gives you the time to zoom in, get that area where you want it to go. And if you're using the Switch and you've got that motion aiming, even frickin' better. The only complaint I had about the motion aiming on the Switch was if you took a little bit too long, zeroing in your aim, after so long, the game would just make it stop. Like wherever it was, it would just stop. So then you kind of have to like wiggle it free and then, try to zoom that spot in again. So that was my only complaint. I just wish they had left it free so I could continue moving that thing around no matter how slow I wanted to go. But wow, it was a handy tool, and I'll tell you what, when I switched to the Xbox and I had no more motion aiming, guys, I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. It was terrible. I was just shooting arrows all over the frickin' place. But yeah, that skill, that right joystick aiming with the thumb, that was a skill I kind of had to learn when I bought the Xbox. Alright, so getting back on track here. I could have sworn there was a treasure chest over here somewhere. Or maybe I'm thinking of a mod I downloaded at one point. It was hidden in a tree log. That's the fun thing about the Xbox or PC is, there's this huge world out there of creators. People who just are skilled with, making content like this. And they make new dungeons, they make new map, they put new weapons, and it's just insane. And I spent some time playing quite a lot of those, and most of them worked pretty well. And most of them were pretty fun. Some of them just got a little overwhelming, and I didn't really seem to have too much fun in them. Some just didn't work real good, So it's hit and miss. Alright, so again, just a quick map overview. I'm just going to follow this yellow brick road here, and it's going to take us right to town. And there should be some wolf trouble along the way, so make sure you're grabbing your pelts along the way. I always keep an eye on that compass too, in addition to scanning for loot. If enemies are coming within range, you'll see red dots start showing up, and that'll kind of warn you to maybe crouch down and kind of see what's going on. Oh, speaking of which. Right smack in the head. Notice, guys, 1 shot now on the wolf. These were taking, 3 shots before on the way to Embershard? Or maybe that was on the way to Riverwood, I'm not really sure now, but... So yeah, anyway, much more combat capable, and I've already seemed to have lost my follower. Now, the followers, guys, they can be glitchy. keep just in the back of your mind, make sure you always know where your follower is at. If you notice you haven't seen him in a while, retrace your steps. Actually, make a hard save file, and then go back and retrace your steps. If you find him, great, you know, problem solved. If you can't find him, try fast traveling. Sometimes, you know, a simple fast travel to a nearby village or something, that'll fix it, and he'll be with you right as rain. If the last time you saw him was inside a dungeon, go back inside that dungeon. Sometimes they'll be standing right at the front door, and other times you'll have to kind of run back through the dungeon, and they'll just be standing there like an idiot, you know, and you'll have to talk to them, and then that'll kind of snap them out of it, and then they'll you know, follow you again. So again, just always, guys, lots and lots of game save files for just issues like this that might arise. That way, you know, if none of that fixes it, then you can just reload a prior save until you get your follower back. And you know what, I'm going to try to play the game both ways with view. Just to kind of, I want some feedback on that. Do you guys want me to play with the character visible? Or do you want me to, because notice, you know, it kind of changes the way it feels. Movement is a little bit altered. So yeah, I'd just like to know what you guys enjoy watching more. So I'll probably do a couple of videos here, you know. Third person like this, or second person, or whatever that is. And then I'll probably do a couple of videos, you know, first person, and see what you guys think about that. I find it's harder to see the loot, too, because it's like you're higher up in the sky with the view, whereas here you're more ground level. So that's one thing that I'm not real happy about changing views. I mean, I'll live. I've played the game enough, I kind of know how to scan and look anyway. But, you know, especially if you're new to the game, or just don't have that much time in and you do have trouble scanning and looking for stuff, keep in mind this might make that a little bit more challenging. Alright guys, I'm just following the pathway here. The road hasn't forked or anything yet, so I'll do another quick map shot here. Now there's going to be some points of interest coming up. Matter of fact, there's some loot. Alright guys, so I just had a thought. I didn't see the treasure chest I thought was up here. So, you know, maybe it's the version of the game. So I started playing just the OG, you know, straight up Skyrim. And then at some point I bought some downloadable content and got some extra quest lines unlocked, which are well worth it, by the way. And then a year or two ago I bought the edition, whatever, the anniversary edition. So, you know, 3 different games now that I've bought and played through. So, you know, you might want to check those spots just to see maybe if you find a chest there or not. And, you know, if you do, great, you win. And if not, then, like I said, maybe it was just a downloadable thing, or, you know, maybe I just got the exact spot a little bit off. Alright, so enough about that. I'm going to go ahead and trigger these points of interest on my map. Now notice it's black on the compass up there. When I get real close, it turns white, and that tells you it's a discovered area. So the black or not filled in points are undiscovered. The white ones are discovered. Okay, now the reason I like to kind of come down this way is there's a bit of loot to be had here. Mostly in the form of flowers to pick. And at night, when the moon's out, you'll see glowing insects. Take the time to get the moths especially. The thoraxes don't really cook good stuff, but the moths give you invisibility when cooked with the you know, other correct ingredients. And again, those sell really, really good, and they bump your alchemy up really, really good. So I really like to stock up on all things damage, magic, or regen, all things invisibility, all things... Oh god, there's other ones. I just can't think of them all right now. Poison, something to do with poison. That's another thing for invisibility, but you need that for a side quest, so You know, use your discretion on cooking with those for burner meals that you can, you know, sell. I think that side quest requires 20 of these bad boys. So, you know, yeah, I won't start cooking with those right off the bat. Wow, what is it? I'm really struggling here with my memory. Wow. Guess that's what aging is all about. I think I just got a courier, which is pretty awesome.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Oh, that might have been from a download. One of my mods. At a certain point, sometimes the courier will come and tell you to go do that thing, and sometimes when you delete the mod, things like that will still happen in your game. So, yeah, it could have been just something along those lines. Alright, again, looking for those moths. So yeah, invisibility, damage, magicka, regen. There's a poison for slow. That's another one, but that's not what that ingredient was for specifically. That's why I'm getting all the salt piles. That poison is slow, it sells real good, and it really bumps that alchemy up as well. Okay, so now this is going to be your first area for the companions. You notice they just killed a giant. Now these things are pretty tough to kill. That'll be a little later. We'll still be able to kill them, but it's going to be a tough fight.
That's why
So yeah, the companions, you can do a whole bunch of side quests with these guys once you get to Whiterun. Which is really weird because it's a tougher quest line. It's quite challenging.
Not for me to
So I don't understand why they kind of throw this at you right away. On my very first playthrough, I tried to do all these and I just kept dying. It was impossible. So it wasn't until I kind of came back to it later game that, you know, I was able to get through it even. Which is sad because there's a ton of followers you can choose from. They all have different, you know, training that they can do with you. Some are one-handed, some are two-handed. Some are like heavy or light armor. Oh yeah, pick everything at farms. At least, you know, one or two of everything. So have a couple of cabbages in your inventory. Have a couple of leeks in your inventory. You just never know when you might need this stuff to sell to a farmer or to give them for, you know, helping them pick crops or whatever. And again, that's going to help your status in the region for when you want to become Jarl later on. Now, unfortunately, I can't demonstrate that for you right now because it's nighttime and these guys are not outside. Always take the time to get these bird eggs, guys. The chicken eggs specifically, because that combines for another damage, magic, regen potion. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for right here in this little spot. So yeah, quite a lot going on right here. You've got Whiterun, huge city, so welcome. Then you've got, you know, the farms. There's 2 farms here, I think, or just one. And then you've got the mead center right there. And you've got another farm over there. So yeah, lots of opportunities to talk to NPCs, get quests, and build your standing in the specific region for Jarl. Or Thane, excuse me. The Jarl's Thane. Okay, so these carriages are hireable. And that's key because I'm going to start, you know, really... I'm not going to hot-foot it everywhere on this map, so I'm going to use him to fast travel to cities I haven't discovered yet. Because you can't fast travel to them unless they're discovered. So all this real soon, and there's, like I said guys, there's always a method to my madness. There's specific reasons why we're going to be going to each one. First and foremost, I'm going to be going way over here to Markoth, and reason being is going to be the Lover's Stone. But honestly, there's a lot to do up there, so I'm just going to kind of go straight to that Lover's Stone, activate it, because that's going to be our leveling. This way, while we're out and about and we're doing things, you know, all of our skills are going to level a little bit quicker. So I think for every 7 times you level, you're going to get a free one. So it's like you really leveled 8 times. You know, that's rough math. It's a 15% bonus. So it speeds things up 15%. So it's roughly about, you know, 8 for the price of 7. And that might not sound like a lot, but in the grander scheme of the game, it's huge. So yeah, the sooner we can get that activated, the better, because the faster we'll start leveling. And honestly, it's so far out of the way, I might not do it right this very minute. But that's going to be here real soon. And the reason I say there's other stuff to do there, there's a mine I want to hit there with a bunch of gold, but it's kind of a tough fight. You know, there's a lot of bandits in there, or the Forsworn to be more exact. Okay, try to persuade him, because that bumps your speech skill up.
We'll be keeping an eye on you.
You look strong. Come to Norbasker.
There it goes, speech up, baby. Oh, I forgot to level, dude. What am I thinking? Okay, I'm due for another magic bump. Next will be stamina. Okay, and I got 3 perk points to spend, but I'm real selective with my perk points early game, depending on what I'm trying to level. So if I get to an enchanting table and I have a lot of enchanting to do, I'll start dumping the perks into that. If I'm doing alchemy table to get my alchemy bumped, you know, because I got a lot of cooking ingredients, then I'll start perking that up. So I just kind of play it by ear with my gameplay. So I wouldn't recommend just spending them because you have them. Wait until you really need them somewhere. One of the things I like to do earlier on is either choose sneak, light armor, or speech. Again, depending on what I'm trying to do. If I keep getting my butt kicked in combat, I might start working on the armor. You know, if I really want the sneak going, I'll start working on that at some point. But speech is more important for your buying and selling. Alright, so welcome to Whiterun, quite a big village. Just to kind of show you on the map where we went from, that was Riverwood, so we went pretty much due north. So whether or not you want to follow the roadway system, you can just, you know, simply head north.
They say Helgen got hit by a
We'll pay whatever it takes.
Oh, speaking of getting, you know, more people on your side when you're in a big fist fight with a whole bunch of NPCs. So we've got the follower, we can do the second follower when we get Serana. Then you can have your flame astronaut casted. That's, you know, 4 against whatever you're dealing with, because you count 2. But you can actually also give your follower a magical enchanted weapon, and they can cast their own flame astronaut. So you can have, like, all these freaking things shooting at your enemies, and you could literally just stand there and watch the chaos. It's pretty awesome. So guys, when I said earlier on that I was going to get you just super bumped, super early in the game, I was not underselling. It's just going to be sick. You're going to be in these fights, and you're going to remember how hard Ember Shard... what was it called? Ember Shard Mine, I think? You're going to remember how hard that fight was, and then you're going to go back in there at some point and be like, whoa. Like, this is ridiculous. But, like, in a good way. It's a lot of fun. Okay, guys, here in Whiterun, there's lots and lots of flowers to pick. Take the time to pick them all. These do respawn in time, so, you know, get them while the getting is good. And that'll just help them to respawn, you know, that much quicker in your game. But it's lots of blue mountain flowers, especially. There's some other stuff here, you know, that's probably not great, but the blue mountain flowers especially are good for the potions. And there's nightshades also that you can combine with stuff to also get another real good strong potion cooking for both selling and bumping your alchemy skill. Okay, for now I'm just kind of going right around here getting all the collectibles. And these are usually a lot easier to see. At night and during rainy weather, the color scheme kind of grayscales out a little bit to make you feel like you're in the mist or whatever. Which is cool, you know, but it does make the farming stuff a little bit tougher to see. And it's probably even harder to see so on my video screen, you know, going through the YouTube processing. But just know that when you're playing the game and you're watching it on your own TV, the graphics are much better than what you're seeing on my channel. And, you know, the looting is a little bit easier than probably what you're able to see on my screen. Okay, now there's a lot of vendors here in Whiterun. You've got 2 kind of like bars-ish. This one's kind of more of a general store. Actually, it's kind of like a hybrid store, really. So yeah, you got a couple of general store type stores here. Then you've got your smith right over there. You've got an alchemy store, which is awesome. You've got an inn. You've got the mage up at the castle. So yeah, just lots and lots of stuff to do here. This is going to be quite a long video, actually, because there's so much to cover here in Whiterun. Wow, so guys, go ahead and buckle up. And you'll want to walk around each building, too, because some of them, you know, have stuff in front, behind, on the sides. So I just noticed if I kind of make my rounds around each building, I usually gather pretty much everything. This will eventually be our house. It's 5,000 gold to buy that sucker, so that's going to come later, but it's nice because you can store things there. And guys, that's another problem. It's not a glitch, it's just the way the game is. All this stuff respawns in time and it's random, so in 5 days that cabbage could be back and it could be something different. Or it could be, you know, 30 days. But one way or another, that stuff is going to reset. And so, you know, if you're storing your own stuff in there thinking you can come back to it later, you might get lucky and still find it there at some point, but keep in mind, sooner or later, it's going to despawn. So the only safe places to store loot is going to be in homes that you have purchased. So this will be our first one here. But it's so nice to have that because at some point, even having the follower, using him as a pack mule, you're still going to fill it pretty quickly on weight. So yeah, good times. And you can get a home in every hold. So every region you can buy a different house, which is really, really cool. And then you have a couple of holds where you actually have to build your own house. That's a lot of fun, the house building. Trying to be as thorough as I can. It's night and it's really tough to make out the purple mountain flowers from the blue mountain flowers, but there is a texture difference. So if I can get zoomed in real good here, notice these blue mountain flowers here. I know those are blue mountain flowers because they're textured funny. They've got, like, you know, real light spots and real dark spots in the flower. The purple mountain flower, it's the exact same thing, only there's no real big contrast. There's no real light spots and real dark spots in the flower. So it's more like a plain flower versus this textured one. And that's honestly the only way I can tell because of my color blindness. So they all look the same to me as far as color. I can never see the colors unless the lighting is just right. So for example, that's a purple mountain flower right there. Notice how the texture is more blanded. It's more like fuzzy. There isn't that real big segregation in the texture on it. So that's how I know that's purple. That's purple also.
Stay out of trouble, Red God.
Okay, there's some nightshade right here in front of this house, which is really cool. Okay, so the last building of interest, at least on this side of the town, is going to be the inn. Again, just kind of lots of flowers here to be picked. Now, this is one side of town. This is where all your stores are going to be. In fact, that's the, you know, this well, it's a good central landmark. So that's where we came in at. That's the gate. So I know it probably got confusing there. I was running all over the place, but this is kind of like the town square, so to speak. It's got the vendors outside. It's got vendors inside. So you've got the stands out here, and some of these have quests. So, you know, talk to everyone. And then you've got the Alchemy store here and the general store here. So everything's pretty much right here on this main road. The only thing that's really not here, there is another blacksmith in town, and he's up where the companions are, up on this hill. Or up on this hill next to that glowing spot up there where that dragon-looking thing is. And up there at the castle is my mage. But again, he won't be available until nighttime. Now there's a bunch of characters here you can talk to for quests. And again, guys, this is going to be a big video. A lot to discuss here. This Amarin guy, go ahead and talk to him. He's got a quest for you.
He fed his entire family with the gold he made using... I tracked it to a group.
Offer to help him find a sword.
I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful.
Don't train with these guys. It's expensive and you can't get your gold back. And normally when you do a quest for a trainer, part of the reward, in addition to getting some gold, is they'll give you a free bump or two in your stats. So a nice little fringe benefit there for doing trainer quests. Okay, so now make note of this giant tree here with this water and stuff. So I'm right at the top of those stairs. If we go straight, we go to the castle. If we go right, we go to the companions. If we go left, we go to some more of the village. I'm going to go to the left first, because I want these lootables. And again, I'm going to start tapering back on some of the stuff I know I don't need. Okay, so now there's the difference. They're right next to each other. There's the blue mountain flower. You see the texture. There's the purple mountain flower. Texture is different. That's the only way I can tell the difference.
Need supplies? See Bella.
And even sometimes the lighting is just hard, you know, and you still can't really make them out, and I'll still pick them up anyway and find out it's wrong. Sometimes it's just quicker to pick the stupid things up, and then when you get too much weight, just dump them somewhere. That .01 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have, you know, 100 of something, that weight does start to add up. And then when you have multiple things that you have 100 of, that can really start adding up. And anytime you see tombstones like this, or, you know, any kind of stone structure like that, always look near them. There's usually these flowers. And again, guys, real good for potions there. And there's usually one by each one. Usually, you know, not always, but, you know, if you don't see it, just kind of look around and maybe spam the button a little bit. Sometimes you'll pick them up and you didn't even see it. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to call it good. You know, I've gotten all the flowers picked, so now I've already got kind of a head start on all this stuff respawning. Sooner the better. So that's why I kind of just did this massive sidetrack here on the flowers. And I don't think that's all of them even. There's some hanging moss yet. There's some up there by the companions building. Oh, and anytime you get poisoned or you get some kind of disease or something, always take a moment to find a statue to pray at, and that'll cure your diseases. So just as a good general rule, anytime I see one of these, I just hit the button, you know, real quick. And a lot of them give you different perks or bonuses. You know, so better than nothing. It's kind of like a twofer in that respect. Okay, I know there's some blues around this area. Okay, this is on the way up to that other blacksmith I mentioned. Oh, and there's a bump book up here, by the way. Might as well get it now while we're at it. And again, these have good selling value, so I always carry them because they're only £1. You can sell them at Mage's, I believe. Or depending on the book, it might matter, you know, what vendor it goes to. Now, at some point, when we get our speech high enough, there's a perk where it doesn't matter what vendor is selling what. You can sell whatever you want to any vendor. And that is huge. But, you know, for now, early game, I'll show you guys a way around that. Now, the hanging moss, that's valuable, as you saw earlier in my prior video. That makes a real good, expensive selling potion. Really helps get that alchemy stat up too fast. Yeah, it's honestly, it's kind of hard for me to control the character like this. I haven't played this way in a long time. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, first person it. But I'd still like your opinion on how you enjoy watching the gameplay more. You know, it'll come back to me within a couple of days or so, so it's not a big deal on my end. But I don't want to go through that trouble, you know, if nobody really wants to see it anyway. Oh yeah, barnacles. That combines with, I think, purple mountain flowers or something. And it's, again, not spectacular, but it does some, you know. It is somewhat helpful. So yeah, the barnacles are usually in water. Sometimes you'll see them on the sidewalls, but more often than not, you'll see them under the water. So you don't need to, you know, farm a ton of these things, but again, they do come in handy for a few quick potions that you can sell off. Alright guys, so we're at the castle now. A whole bunch more to do. Hopefully it's late enough in the day where I can get my mage. Okay, that's a game glitch. I started a game file that I had already played. And sometimes the game thinks something is still going on, even though you know, deleted all those save files and started back at the beginning. So between the courier coming up to me and that happening right now, that tells me this is a glitched game. So unfortunately, you know, if you do go back through and you don't go in through like device management and delete all of your save data, this is a risk. So I can't help but to wonder now when I do this quest later if that's going to glitch out on me. If it does, I can live with it. It's not that big of a deal. I don't use this shout anyway. So, you know, if the time comes and it's a problem, I'll just discuss, you know, why it was a problem and why it glitched out the way it did. And yeah, I'll just press on with life. Now, if I start noticing a bunch of other stuff happening, then that's going to be a real problem, and then I might have to restart, you know, the game file anyway. But again, I want to try to avoid that if at all possible, because I finally got the character right. Alright, so yeah, here's the castle. Now, at some point there's going to be a woman standing here in full body armor, and she can be a follower too. And she's also going to be a housecarl. She's marryable, and that's the one I like to marry because she has a store that comes with her. So you can talk to her every couple of days or so and get more free gold, which is a really awesome perk. I don't think she does any quests or anything. Not right now anyway. But, you know, again, I'm going to talk to everybody just to make sure I don't miss anything like that.
You were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your...
And it doesn't really matter what dialogue options you use. Right now, you're pretty neutral in the game.
Especially now.
So it doesn't really, you know, matter which way.
Irileth was right.
Okay, it's going to take him a minute to kind of finish talking through his dialogue there. And guys, again, very, very immersive game. So I know I'm talking over a lot of their dialogue, but when you're playing the game, just listen to what they're saying. It's really going to pull you in. And the thing I like about it is they talk. You don't have to sit here, you know, and read 50 pages of dialogue. You can actually just sit here, you know, and listen to them. Okay, so once he gets done talking, it'll kind of pull you in again.
Here, take this as a small token of my esteem.
Okay, leather armor. It's not super heavy, and I can sell that, so not a bad little prize there. You normally don't get anything great right off the bat from him. You know, sometimes I've gotten an enchanted weapon, but it's rare.
Let's go find
it's usually something that's not enchanted, and it's normally like heavy, like steel armor or something that I don't even want to carry. He wants us to go talk to the mage, which I'm going to do anyway. But this is part of this quest, and this is another thing that we're going to do while we're at Bleak Falls. Wow! Bleak Falls Barrow. Say that 5 times fast. Whoops. So I'm going to let them kind of finish their dialogue first, then I'm going to get into the mage. So yeah, we're going to Bleak Falls Barrow to get the guy's claw back at the general store in Riverwood. And then we're also going to get a tablet at the end of that dungeon that he wants. So you could have actually done that first and then brought the tablet, and you could give it to him now, but I decided to come here first to, you know, get us our magic flame astronaut going.
Straight to the point. I go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet.
Okay, and again, I'm going to go through all his dialogue options. He's got another little side quest here we can do in town. He wants you to take something to the alchemist.
Well, must preserve some profession. Tapes was built. That reminds me. Would you be
okay, this is the quest for delivering the salts.
You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task.
Alright, so now it's buying and selling time. Now again, every vendor is, you know, limited on what they buy and sell. So he's real limited on what you can buy and sell. It's mostly just, you know, anything enchanted, unfortunately. Sometimes he'll let you sell some basic, you know, clothing and stuff. Jewelry, absolutely, he'll take jewelry. Okay, you can sell him the bump book, so that's good. I'll get rid of that right now. And then, yeah, soul gems and sometimes things out of your misc he'll also buy. So for me buying, I don't normally want any of his apparel ever. The scrolls, no. In fact, I usually sell the scrolls to him. Here's what I'm looking for right here, guys. Conjure Flame Astronaut. You can see it's not a cheap book, but it is worth every single penny and then so much more. And this will summon the hottest girl on the planet. Okay, the other I'm looking for right now is Candlelight. That's really going to help us out in these dungeons and stuff. Courage is probably good to have, and it's cheap enough, because you can start getting more bumps going now that you have a follower. Healing, it's cheap enough. Healing Hands is good too, but it's getting a little pricier. It's not a priority right now. We might even get that for free here along the way. Really, I'm just getting the stuff right now that is a right now priority. Soul Trap. Absolutely grab Soul Trap. It's all about the gemstones, guys, and the soul gems. And for right now, since we don't have Soul Trap on a weapon, we have to use it as a cast. I like to buy soul gems, but again, the stuff gets real expensive real quick. So I'm pretty much going to clean out. But buy the empty ones. Don't buy the filled ones. The filled ones are too expensive, especially right now. So the whole reason I bought the soul trap is so I can fill the empty soul gems. So if it says filled with whatever, just don't buy it. That'll come later. I mean, the petty ones are still pretty reasonably cheap. Okay, I just went ahead and splurged. So, just to kind of show you guys how the enchanter works. I'm not going to disenchant my boots because right now I want to keep those because I don't have a good enough soul gem to make another pair of boots that good. You need like a grand soul gem or a greater soul gem to make anything worthwhile. So, you know, right now all I got is petty. That's not going to enchant me a very good pair of boots. And unfortunately, when you disenchant, it destroys the weapon, or whatever you disenchant, so the boots would go bye-bye. So for right now, I'm holding on to that. I'm going to keep those right now, because again, I don't have the real good soul gems to, you know, make real good ones. But check this out. The hood increases magic. The shirt gives you better regeneration. This ring stacks with the hood. It's the same thing. So I only have to disenchant one of these, which is awesome. And you notice now I can't disenchant the hood because that tells me that I've already done that one. Okay, so to enchant something, only certain enchantments can go on certain items. So Fortify Magicka, that's a clothing and a jewelry item. That will not go on weapons. I'm looking for like frost damage, things of that nature can go on weapons. So yeah, I just can't enchant that right now, unfortunately. Which is okay. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little bit more alchemy work since I'm here. Now, once you've already unlocked a recipe, it'll remember what you used to get the recipe. So really cool. Some of these memorized. So I know the blue butterfly wing. Those go together. Now, I don't like to use the blue butterfly wings, but I'll use one to unlock the crafting spec. But those blue butterfly wings are also needed for... It's either alchemy or smithing. I can't remember which. So yeah, blue mountain flower also goes with chicken eggs. I think I mentioned that earlier on. Always get the chicken eggs. Those also go with hanging moss, which I've already unlocked. Okay, so yeah, I just hit 20. So this is what I mean. I tend to spend the perk points as I go. So I'm going to go ahead and quit and back out, because at 20 I can put a perk point in there. And that makes, you know, slightly stronger potions. Which also means not only effect, but selling power. So they'll be more expensive to sell. Okay, I can also do that again if I really wanted to. Or I could go over here to physician. Okay, so now I'm not going to do that one right now because it would do more good because I'm making a poison. That's not going to help in a poison. The poisoner is up here. So this one basically does all of them. But these other ones up here are more specific. So I don't do any potions in this categories that sell real good. Actually, I do one, but it's far and few between. It would be better spent here in the alchemist section. But I don't like to run myself down to 0 perk points. Because you never know when you're in a pickle somewhere and you need to put something into an attack. Or, you know, stealth or something of that nature. So a general rule, I always like to keep 1 perk point behind. I'm very far away from 60. And the only other thing I'm really interested in here is power shot at 50. So yeah, honestly, this is where I want to keep that perk point and spend it on that power shot. And I'm real close to leveling here. Reason being is it staggers people. So when they're charging at you, it's nice to have that. Blue mountain flower goes with so many things. Nightshade, I believe. Yep. Okay, purple mountain flower does go with... Nope. Bear with me. It'll come back. Maybe it's the frost. There it is. Okay, so yeah, frost miriam, that's usually hanging on like alchemist stores. You can take them for free, depending on whether or not you're friended with the alchemist yet or not, usually by doing their quest. But you also find those hanging in dungeons and stuff. So that frost miriam, I've only got 1, but you know, those will add up and you can combine those with those purple mountain flowers. Now, I don't need frickin' 90 of them, so this is where I'm going to get rid of a lot of these, you know, because that weight adds up fast. Normally I don't cook with these for, you know, various reasons, but I will go ahead and unlock the crafting spec for invisibility. Garlic, and I believe it's... No, I like to save the garlic for when I get juniper berries. Bone meal goes with purple mountain flower also, I believe? No. Bone meal... Okay, that's one of them. That wasn't the one I was thinking. That was the one I was thinking. So those bone meal, those are half a pound each, so I like to cook those off as soon as I get them. Okay, that's pretty much it for right now. There's lots more, you know, I'm very limited on what I can actually cook right now based on, you know, what I can combine. So that goes with something too. Okay, that's one, but that wasn't the one I was thinking of. Okay, there it is, lavender. Whew! Alright, so again, not super impressive, but, you know, it's better than nothing, and it still cooks, and it still sells, so whatever. These can add up fast, too, though, on weight. Every potion is a half a pound. So on some of these other ingredients I'll never do anything else with. That's usually what I like to do with them. And then I'll try to sell them as quickly as possible. Mushrooms have some weight to them too, usually. Not all, but some mushrooms. So I will kind of get rid of some more of those, I guess. So for right now, that's pretty much it. We did pretty good. And most of that came from right here in Whiterun and on the way to Whiterun. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much done talking to the vendor. Now it's time to get real with the magic. So go ahead and open your items, open your books, and read all those spell tunes we just bought. And guys, I promised... Okay, I already have healing, so I bought that one for absolutely no reason. I'll go ahead and sell that back to him, although I will not get back what I bought it for. Go ahead and, you know, go to your thing here, go to magic. Now this is where all your shouts are going to be. Oh, and since you're a red guard, this is something I forgot to talk about before, your powers. And I like to favorite that, because when you're real low on stamina and you just need a real quick recharge on stamina, you can pound that left bumper, and that'll recharge your stamina real quick. And it's got a cooling off period of quite a long time. I think it's only one a day or something. But it lasts for, you know, a few seconds, so it's just nice to have it. In fact, it lasts a full minute, so, you know, if you're trying to run away from an enemy or something, and you keep running out of stamina, you can pound that left trigger, or that left bumper, and you'll be able to get free and clear. That minute is more than enough time for a lot of things that you'll need stamina for. Alright, so active effects, that's, you know, if you're equipping any clothing, it's going to show you all this stuff that is doing something for you. So there's my carry weight boots. That's the Talos thing that I activated earlier to get rid of things. That's the blessing that came with that one. You can see it's limited on time, though. It's got 7 hours left. Resist poison, that's just because I'm a red guard. You always have that no matter what. And then the Mage Stone, that's that stone I talked to earlier on for quicker magic bumping on the skill. Now when we get to the Lover's Stone, it'll do all things for 15%, so much better deal. And if you had some kind of an illness or injury or curse, that would show up here in red. So like, I think lock joint is one thing that can screw you up. That would show up in red here. You go talk to you know, pray at one of the shrine things, and that'll get rid of it. You can also drink a potion to cure diseases too. So restoration. So all the magics have different schools. So like conjuring, that's where the hottest girl on the planet's going to come from. So I'm going to go ahead and favorite her, absolutely. Soul Trap, I'm going to be using the crap out of that. I'm going to favorite that, absolutely. So those are under conjuration. Restoration, that'll be things like healing. Destruction is going to be like, you know, damaging type spells. I tend to use flames a lot for burning objects mostly. Like, you know, vines or something that might be in the way or need burned out of the way. Illusion. Yeah, the courage is good for leveling. I use that on my follower a lot. Alteration, candlelight. Yes, that's going to come in handy an awful lot. So notice I just favorited a whole bunch of magic. Reason being is because when you're busy and you're in combat, you just want a quick way to be able to shuffle these around. So I usually put Soul Trap in my left hand, and then I put the hottest girl on the planet in the right hand. Oh, and I can't even cast it. Check me out. I don't have enough magic. So this is why I've been putting perk points into my magicka. And that's still not even enough. But there's a way around that. So this is why I've been carrying around these items particularly. The Novice Hood and the Novice Robes. One's going to give me 30 more magicka on top of what I've already put into, you know, bumps. And then it's going to help me regenerate that just a little bit faster. So I'll go ahead and equip those items. And now I should be able to cast it. But it's going to take everything I've got to do it. There it is, guys. Hottest girl on the planet. What? She is literally on fire. Okay, but in all seriousness, she is actually pretty cool to have. She shoots fireballs at enemies. She's another distractor, so now we've got our fire astronaut with us, or whatever the heck that word is. I can't pronounce it. And you've got your follower. So that's already, you know, 2 people that are backing you up in combat. What I'm going to do as soon as I get my hands on a greater gem, greater soul gem, and a corundum, is I'm going to go right to the Winterhold, and I'm going to get an astronaut caster for him to carry. And he will also cast another flame astronaut. So every time we engage in combat, it's pretty much automatic he's going to cast that, which is freaking awesome. So you're going to have 2 of these flamethrowers with you, and you're going to have your follower. Guys, I'm telling you, combat is going to be a breeze. So yeah, good times, good times, good times. Alright, so that's pretty much it here at the Mage. Now you can actually steal these when he's in bed or whatever, nobody else is around looking. But I'm going to do that, you know, when it's nighttime and I won't get caught. Those don't do any quests right now, but, you know, just make sure you're clearing these dialogue options when you see them. Again, as a preventative measure, you know, for future quest glitching. Okay, and I think I've already got a quest activated for this Jarl. I got that at the inn. And this is the guy you have to talk to clear that whenever we get it done. If he didn't have an active quest, it would say, you know, is there anything you need or whatever, and he'll give you an option to take that quest. So you can get the same quest from either him or the local innkeepers within the certain region that you're in. You can put the Flame Astronaut in both hands and actually do a dual cast, which I don't have the magic to do right now, I don't think. It'll only let me do one or the other. But, oh, and by the way, this will not bump your conjuration skill. It won't happen until you come into contact with enemies and engage in combat. So, you know, just sitting here recasting the same thing over and over, that ain't going to help you. But if you're engaged in combat, recasting over and over again will help you. So keep that in mind for, you know, getting that skill up.
Got some. Looks like that's it.
And, you know, it won't be so redundant. Okay, now let's see if I actually got a note this time. Yes, I did. So go ahead and read these. As soon as you get them, those usually trigger quests. So that's another village hold there. Or hold, village in a hold, different hold. That'll be a different Jarl, different whatever. Different thing opportunity. Most cities have beggars, and that gives you a little perk. Go ahead and give them, you know, 1 gold, and you usually get a bonus for that.
It's since she died.
And I'll show you that here real quick in active effects. That right there. It says Fortify Persuasion, so it's a little bit confusing on what that means. It doesn't just work for persuading people with that dialogue option. That also works for buying and selling prices. So it kind of like gives you different benefits there. Your speechcraft affects more than just persuasion. So it's like buying and selling, it's persuading, it's intimidating, anything to do with the speech skill. So yeah, I like to do that, especially right before I go shopping, you know, for a lot of buying and selling. I always try to find a beggar nearby, hit that up, and that helps you get more for your for the loot that you're selling off. Okay, to go ahead and talk to her. She's another side quest.
It's a shame.
Okay, now this is quite a long quest line. You have to go to like 3 different locations to satisfy this thing. So,
You'll have to deal with
this isn't what I'm going to do right now. I'll do some of the real quick ones right now. But some of these that really take you out and about, you know, that'll be for another time. And talk to the guards at random too. Sometimes the guard will be like, oh, hey, did you hear about this, that, or the other? And it'll mark something on the map for you. Some cave or some, you know, dungeon or something. So yeah, you know, talk to the guards on occasion. You don't have to talk to every single guard, but I just know sometimes they'll have something waiting for you.
Stay safe, I hope.
Everything's all right.
Or sometimes you don't even have to talk to them. Just being in close proximity, they'll start talking about a location. So don't run away from them too fast. Wait until that location gets marked on your map. That's pretty much it for this area. Yeah, there's the companions, but honestly, that's like a whole another party, guys. That's a big quest line there. So again, once we get a little bit stronger here, you know, we get some bows enchanted, then we'll come back here and we'll do the companion stuff. Okay, for right now, there's a vendor here we can talk to for another quick quest line.
Life's hard enough. That bard, I heard him boasting at the. If you want to try, go right ahead.
Okay, go ahead and talk to her. She's got some quests for you too.
Before I met one of the caravan leader. You do that? If you find one, I could teach you about the way.
Okay, she'll bump your skill up in speech when you get her that mammoth tusk. Unfortunately, the thing weighs like 10 pounds, so it really kind of stings. But it's worth it. Okay, so here's the general store, folks. One of them. We haven't been to the first one yet. That's back at the beginning of the village, but I will. General store, so you can buy and sell an awful lot here, which is good. Nothing in the weapons I usually find of interest. Now, this is Stendar. Those are pretty prevalent throughout the game, but some of these are hard to find. So, you know, when we've got our gold built up a little bit better, when you see these amulets, buy them, buy them, buy them. Now, again, maybe not the Stendar, especially when we do the vampire stuff. There's a lot of these to be had. But just about all the other ones are tough to find. Glass and goat horns too, guys. Again, we don't have the gold and, you know, frankly, we don't have a storage place yet for this stuff anyway. But at some point when we do get storage and we do get some gold, buy. Glass, goat horns, soul gems, grand soul gems. That makes the strongest enchantments on weapons and armor. And in fact, that's the only way I like to enchant. Empty. I'll go ahead and buy those. I'm going to keep that ring. Normally I would sell that off, but I don't have any other rings. And just in case I want to enchant a ring or a necklace, I want to be able to do that. So yeah, for now I won't sell that. Now, in addition to selling these to him, you can also sell these at the Alchemist. And I'm not going to sell them to him specifically because of that. She's also a trainer. So that same trick I showed you guys in the last video where I was using my follower for free training, you can kind of do the same thing with her. Sell her a bunch of potions. Spend the gold on the training, sell more potions, etc., so on. So, yeah, this just all ties into itself. So I'm not going to sell these here in case, you know, I need them for that. But if, you know, she runs out of gold and I can't do any more training, then I'll come back over and finish selling them to him. I will get rid of all these purple mountain flowers that I know I'll never cook. Well, maybe not all of them, but all but 10. How's that? Definitely keep your blue mountain flowers. That cooks the best potions. Okay, now I'm not going to sell that. Reason being, we're going to start getting metals and we can start crafting jewelry, and that really helps the crafting spec. Not only that, you can sell that to the mages. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the general store right now. Okay, our alchemist is right next door. Super convenient. Now, during night, these guys aren't available. Now, notice it says steal everything. Now, once we befriend certain vendors, they'll let you take stuff for free, but just pay attention to it. If it turns red, don't take it. If it's not red, then you can take it. But once we make friends with her by giving her those salts from that other dude,
Could be ataxia.
then we make friends with her and she opens up the bar for you to take all these ingredients for free. She just gave me a whole bunch of potions for free for, you know, doing her that favor. Not only that, that unlocked all these things that I can scoop up now. But again, not all of it. Some of it's still going to say steal, but most of it is now pilferable.
Take a look.
So first things first, I'm going to go right to the ingredients and see what I can buy. If it's cheap enough and I know I can make a good strong potion with it, I'm going to grab it. Now that makes paralysis, I think. But I don't think I have any other paralysis ingredients right now. Ooh, Death Bell. Wait, how much are they? That combines with the salts we've been gathering. Okay, that combines with wheat for a real expensive potion. Yeah, why not? Hemp stool, that's paralysis. Juniper berries. More Nightshade. Wow, we're getting some real good. It's always randomized. You never know what the stores are gonna have. So yeah, we need some snowberries. Spriggan sap. Okay, you know, down to 68 gold. I'm gonna see if I get lucky with that glow dust. That goes with something too. We might not have its Mary up though. Alright, for right now I'm gonna call it good. I will kind of start selling some of this because I want to see where I'm at with my gold relative to how many potions I've got left to sell. And look at that, guys. The speech goes up too, so it's like everything ties in. And I've got it down to a real science now and getting the character leveled up just really, really quickly. Okay, that sells for 88, so go ahead and get rid of 2 of those. And I'm going to sell her back some of these free potions she gave me because they're not good. Now be careful not to oversell. It won't give you the difference. So once she's out, she's out. So, you know, don't, if she's only got 2 gold left, don't sell her 85. You'll only get 2 gold for that. So now what I'm going to do is spend some of this money I just got by selling potions, and I'm going to get some training in alchemy.
I think I can teach.
So again, guys, this just all ties in together. I haven't done any training at this level, so before I actually start doing the alchemy training,
I'm right behind you.
I'm going to get my archery training done, get myself up to 50 so I can get that perk unlocked. And I think he actually will let you go up to 51. So I'm going to take advantage and do that because I can get my gold back for free here. Nope, he will not. Okay.
What do you want me to carry?
But now I'm not going to level my character yet because remember, I can still get 4 more at this current level. I've only used 1.
Doesn't need a cure. I think I can teach you a thing or two.
I'd have enough for another one, so I'll have to sell some more to her now.
Ah, so you're an alchemist then.
But 220 rupees, so why not? Rupees, listen to me. This ain't Zelda. Wow, I said rupees. Okay, and that pretty much cleaned her back out of gold, so I'll go back in and do a little bit more training.
I can teach you a thing. Until now.
Okay, time for stamina. Notice, guys, that magicka, it says 160 now. That's because of the clothes I'm wearing. Normally, that's down to 130. Remember that hood I put on gave me extra 30. So I'm at 150, 130, and 100 now, respectively. So that's when I'm going to start going to stamina. So now that I've got them, you know, about 20 apart each, now I'm going to go back through the health, magicka, stamina, health, magicka, stamina. And that's just my own little method for, you know, how to dump points into what. Okay, I have a 2 perk points now, but I got my archery up to 50. So that means I can unlock this power shot, which is absolutely huge. Oh, notice it says speech 30. Normally it's at 20, but because I got that charity thing, you know, the speech craft, now it says 30. So that's a good way to validate whether or not you still have another active effect going and where you're at. So I'm actually already getting better buying and selling prices. $267, not bad.
I think I can teach you a thing or two.
I can do this all day long. Well, you can only do it as long as you got potions to sell, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I had that backwards in my head, so what I should have done is actually went around and picked up all the free stuff first, and then gone into her inventory and bought whatever I could have bought. So now y'all know.
I offer remedies for ailments both common and rare. Do let me know if I can
Make sure you're not picking up anything that says steal. You do not want her to be on your bad side. A couple of free soul gems here, super cool. And these do regenerate in time. They will respawn, you know, randomly. It might be 5 days, it might be 30. But at some point, you know, you'll see this stuff back in here. Ah!
Hey, that isn't yours.
Sorry. Okay, she just stole it back, so good. She didn't call the police on me. Last thing I want to do is have a bounty in the game. That's just miserable.
Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem back
Okay,
there.
always read all the books too, guys. Now I'm not going to because I specifically know these don't do anything, but some of them will like mark a location on your map. Sometimes it'll be a bump book, and you just never know unless you know what you're looking at. But one quick way to tell is look at the value. If it's, you know, value 5, value 7, it's probably nothing. If it's value like 50 or value 70, then it's probably a bump book. Okay, there should be some more goodies down here.
Remedies for ailments, both common you'll find.
An Explorer's Guide to Skyrim, that's probably a map marker, sure enough. Notice how it said map updated on the upper left of my screen there.
Salves, poultices, and potions on my shelves.
Okay, now notice, since I got some of these back in my inventory, that's now what you can see. Once you unlock the spec, it's always visible, assuming you've actually got the ingredients to do it. Yeah, I've unlocked quite a bit here, so good, good, good. Okay, so guys, I've got some new ingredients. Now I'm going to show you some real good, powerful, probably the most expensive potion in the game is right here. 1 wheat and 1 giant's toe. The giant's toe are a freaking pound a piece. But it's worth its weight in gold, let me tell you. Now, that doesn't look that impressive, 702, but once we get our speech up, you know, and we get our alchemy, crafting stronger potions, that thing is going to be worth like 3,000 freaking gold. It's ridiculous. So yeah, every giant's toe you get, scoop it up. And that combines with wheat. Now, it's the only one that's that expensive. Spriggan sap goes with snowberries. That's a fortify enchanting, so I'm blue butterfly wings go with that too, and that's why I said I won't cook with a lot of blue butterfly wings. Really, all 3 of these I'll kind of hold back somewhat. The bad thing is the blue butterfly wings also pair with other things where you can get gold for, so you know, Spriggan sap is kind of hard to come by unless you get to Solstheim and farm them. So really, it's just going to be snowberries and blue butterfly wings in the beginning of your game for getting that fortified enchanting. Okay, salt pile and where's that blue flower I just bought? Death bell. That's another good seller. It really gets that alchemy bumped. Of Canis root. Oh, I know it goes with that. There's more paralysis stuff out there, but it's not coming to me right now. So moving right along, let's try some garlic and juniper berries. That's another real good one that you can get tons of stuff for and cook just an awful lot of potions for, you know, good quick leveling and good quick selling. Okay, Ice Wraith Teeth, those also pair for another invisibility potion. And again, normally I don't cook with this stuff, but because that's needed for questing. But, you know, just for demonstration purposes, I'll go ahead and lock the crafting spec. Okay, that's really all that's coming to me right now. You can use Salt Pile with other things too, I just don't have the stuff yet. Trama root is one thing, but that's in Solstheim. Alright, for now, I'm pretty happy with what I've been able to cook up. Oh yeah, like I said, the other ingredients don't work. So, you know, that other one was real expensive. This one would be absolutely garbage. So do not cook those. Waste of your blue mountain flowers. Regenerate stamina. I mean, yeah, I've got it. Might as well, you know, burn it. But yeah, this one, you know, 90, and you can only sell that for about, you know, 50 or 40, whatever it ends up being. So it's just not worth the blue mountain flowers when you can combine that with much better ingredients for, you know, better selling power and better leveling. Go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, so now I should be able to... Uh-oh. It must have turned night... No, okay. If it turns nighttime, she'll probably kick you out, and if you don't leave, she could even call the cops on you. So that's a good time.
So you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
Okay, so I can actually do a little bit more training right now, which is awesome. But now I gotta be careful. I don't have a ton of potions left to sell, so I'm gonna kind of do this one at a time maybe, and kind of see where I'm at, you know, with in regards to what I can get my... I need the gold. So, like, the gold's more important right now than doing another level or two. Okay, actually, I got quite a bit valued at 100 right there. So that gives me a good mental mindset now what I can do. That's 700 gold right there worth of selling power.
I think I can teach you a thing or two.
Okay, so I don't have enough to sell to get my gold back, so at this point I'm just going to call it good enough. And you know, you can sell these at other vendors too. These can go to the general stores or alchemists. So, you know, carrying a couple extra potions around right now in the interest of saving the gold is well worth it. So, guys, we're doing real good in Whiterun here. We've got 1,000 gold in our inventory. We've gotten just insane amounts of levelings done and bumps done. Skills, just wowzers. You know, Alchemy's at freaking 36 already. Wow. So if I was going to do more, you know, crafting and stuff, as soon as that hit 40, I would dump that perk point into there, but I'm not. So, you know, for right now, I'm going to hold on to that perk point until I figure out what I'm going to do next. So yeah, guys, we're not done with Whiterun yet, believe it or not. I pretty much cleaned her out, so what I could actually do now is go over to the other vendor and get rid of the... Actually, I think I can craft a couple more of those. And get rid of the last potions that I've got.
You'll find my shelves. Browse to your heart's content.
So yeah, if I really wanted to, I could hit this vendor real quick and sell those potions to him, but I've only got a few. It's, you know, okay, I'll hold on to them for the time being. Now, what might really bite me in the butt is if the smith here has got some really good stuff for sale, like soul trap on a weapon that I could disenchant. Or, I don't see the female vendor. There's two of them. One male, one female. And sometimes they have slightly different inventory, so it's always worthwhile to check in with both. Okay, that's not... You're going to find plenty of Scorching, so I'll find that for free here soon. Magic of damage, yeah, not worth the money. Not right now. Okay, look at that. Hide boots of lifting. They're too expensive to buy, but that's awesome. I would buy that and then disenchant the heavier ones. But, you know, I just don't have the gold right now, so that's unfortunate because these are random, so that's going to go away in a day or two. Alchemy. Oh, I'm so close. That would be a good one to buy right there. The reason being is you can disenchant that and then enchant 4 articles of clothing. Actually, 5 if you do the trick with the Falmer helmet and a circlet. So you can equip 2 headpieces if you've got a Falmer helmet and a circlet. So you can enchant both and basically get like 2 for 1 on the headgear. But this... Golly, it drains all my gold. But wow, I want one. So bad. Same stuff. Now when I have the gold, I'll be buying all the iron, all the leather, for crafting purposes. I just do a bunch of dummy crafting just to get the skill up. Okay, so, you know, it might be getting too late in the day. By the time I get to the other vendor cell, get back here, they might be closed, but I'm going to try anyway. Look at that, another bump in speech while we're at it. Hot dog.
All right then.
Alright, so now when I craft potions, they'll be better for selling and better for leveling and stronger potions in and of themselves. And again, you can apply that to 5 pieces of clothing and it all stacks, guys. It's insane. So yeah, it all ties in together. And I do this with every category. So, you know, conjuring, smithing, speech, alchemy, it just all snowballs. And it all adds up to the character leveling ultimately. You know, with the overall level and perk points. So, you know, we're level 11 already, and we've barely even played this game. We went to Riverwood, we did one little mini dungeon, and we came to the main town here. So most of this was just flower picking and crafting potions. Pretty freaking awesome. Alright guys, I know there was a lot of commentary. This video has gone on quite a while, and we haven't even left the town here yet, and I'm still not done. I said if I, you know, remembered, I was going to go do a little metal smelting. and turn some of that ore into iron ingots. Now, unfortunately, this in and of itself does not bump your crafting, your smithing skill, which I don't understand why, because it's really hard to get the smithing skill up in this game. Same thing with the tanner. You don't get any credit for doing this. Where the benefit does come in is once you get these items made, then you'll be able to do crafting with them, and then that will get your smithing up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is craft iron daggers. As many as I have, you know, strips and ingots for. Now, unfortunately, they're 2 pounds a piece, so this is going to add a lot of weight, so I need to do this pretty quick and get in there and sell them as quickly as possible. So let's see, I've got 20, so I need at least 20 strips. I had 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay, now leather to leather strips is 2 for 1. So now that I've got 7 leather left, I want 4, 8... Okay, that'll make me a few, but I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a moment. Okay, so the iron daggers is the first of the things I'm going to craft. Notice that smithing skill, guys. Now, selling these things, they don't sell for much. It's not really the point. It's really for the smithing skill that I do this. Okay, you can see I just bumped that up a couple of times. So now when you run out of iron or strips, in this case it was the iron, what I'll do then is go over to the leather for leather bracers. Same type of party, but see, it's 1 leather for 2 pieces of strips. So that's why I was trying to kind of do the math there in my head and see what I'd be able to get out of it. And I went ahead and broke that last leather down into strips because it's lighter weight. I think the leather weighs 2 pounds, the strips are only like 0.1. Alright guys, so I did whatever crafting I could there. Now when we get the metal bars for jewelry and more gemstones, that'll really start pushing that smithing skill up. Not only that, they sell better at the mages. So for right now, I'm just going to sell that stuff I crafted specifically because I don't want to carry the weight around. And you might as well get some money for it rather than 0. So the iron daggers, you know, it's not much, but when you have 20 of them, it's 80 gold, you know, it's better than nothing. And then the leather bracers, those can go too. So all in all, not a bad trade-off. And again, guys, it's all about leveling. Oh, the other general store. Almost completely spaced on that. Okay, now he's got a bow here. Don't steal it.
Hello, friend. Bows and arrows for the mighty huntsman.
Okay, nothing enchanted, so no interest. Nothing enchanted, so no interest. Misk, depends on what he has. No, thank you. And I think I've already kind of gone through this with the other vendors, so I know there's nothing I can really sell. Okay, so again, just another, you know, general purpose vendor. I think she's hireable. Yeah, hireable, but you have to pay for her, so I never get her. Oh, actually, some of these guys, if you fight them, they'll give you an option like, they'll say either verbally or in the written dialogue, you know, they'll challenge you to a fist fight. So sometimes if you win in the fist fight, then you can hire them as a follower for free. But I don't like to do the fist fights right now because I don't have an item I like to have to make sure I can actually win the fist fight pretty quickly. Hey guys, so this part of the video, I actually had to kind of come back here after a time because I had forgotten to do a couple of things. That's why my clothes are different. But
got some good pieces out here.
One thing that we can do is actually talk to her and do a couple of quick quests, and they're not, you know, super lucrative. It's just something you can do. For one, any blacksmith right now is going to say, do you need any help around the forge? So it doesn't have to be her. It could have been, you know, the blacksmith back in Riverwood. It could be any blacksmith. But once you do it, and then they all clear. So that's one you can do, and that's right here at the forging station. And then get her talking in her other dialogue options, and she'll ask you to take a sword to her dad, which is actually the guy up in the castle. He's like the advisor to the Jarl.
Could you take the sword? Thanks.
Okay, and again, not super lucrative, but, you know, little something there for you.
Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron
Okay, so it just says craft an iron dagger. Now, I cleaned my inventory out crafting iron daggers already, but that's okay. While you're doing this, they're going to go ahead and give you the materials you need for the stuff that they're asking for.
Father-in-law
Okay, so go ahead and give her the dagger that you crafted up.
How about you sharpen
Now she
that?
wants you to
Need a
temper
bit
it.
of
Super
metal
easy to
and
do.
wood,
Just
so-
go ahead and sit down on the spinner here. And again, she gives you the materials you need, so all good.
This looks
Okay, go ahead and show her your sharpened dagger.
Take a look.
Okay, now she wants you to craft some leather. Once again, you got what you need here.
I don't claim. Ah. let's
Show her
see
the
if you
leather,
can
you'll
make a
get your
hide
next
helmet.
step.
Here's the rest of.
She wanted to see the hide helmet. I
should
got
hire
really
you to be
sidetracked
my
there.
Assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the
Okay, so now
workshop
just like what we did
finest
with the
weapon.
dagger.
My father, in more ways.
Okay, once you upgrade that, I think we're done now. Once you give her that, and she'll even tell you you can keep all this stuff. I'm just going to sell it back to her anyway.
You have. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe
Okay, there it
you
is.
will
Quest
remember
complete.
me
Now, it's
when
not
you
like a
Skyfort.
critical
Got some
quest or
good
anything,
pieces
but
out here if you're looking to buy.
especially
More
for
inside.
beginners, it's just kind of there to help coach you through the crafting processes. Okay, guys, I've been talking a lot about graphics, so when I'm watching this video game, and I'm using a very old TV set, the thing's like 15, 20 years old, so it's not the TV doing this, it's my recording equipment. So when I'm looking at this game and I'm playing it, whether it be on the Switch or on my TV, I'm getting very vibrant colors. I mean, sometimes the weather changes and sometimes things kind of grayscale out anyway. But, you know, the flowers really pop. The sky really pops. Just things pop. The details are in the architecture. The character, especially with my Xbox mods running to make them look more realistic. I'm looking at really good graphics here. But my video card is not picking that up. Like right now I've got details in the skins, in the buildings, in the clothing that the capture card is kind of fuzzying up quite a bit, so to speak. So I just want to throw that out there. So if you're judging the graphics based on what's coming through on my channel, I just wanted you to be aware of that. It is degrading the video quality. Now I've got everything set, you know, it's the hertz is matched, it's 1080, it's, you know, 60 hertz. And I'm using the Elgato X60, I think it's called. So, you know, I went in and started playing with settings, and there is a setting in there where it lets me do, like, comparable quality to whatever the capture card is receiving. But it's like 7 gigabytes per minute to record that way. Holy guacamole, guys. I can't imagine doing an upload to YouTube with that many gigabytes. I don't even, you know, my hard drive would fill up every time I did a video, so that's completely out of the question, and I'm not very techie, so the reason I'm babbling about this is, if anyone is watching and you hear my pain, please throw me a bone and maybe tell me what I'm doing wrong here, or see if there's a way I can get rid of that fuzziness that's coming through on the YouTube channel, and it's my capture card. So, you know, I can watch it on my TV, it looks crisp, it's clear, there's details, like I can see veins in the skins, male and female, I can see woodwork, I can see knots, I can see just tons of details in flowers, road work, like I said, sky, nighttime, the planets, the moons, and then when I go back and watch them on the videos that I record, they're not there. So, you know, it's definitely blurring it, and I just don't know what else to do. Please bear with us and excuse our mess while we work to bring you the best possible video quality. Alright, so mentioning, you know, quests with her, and of course I'll cut this segment out. I'm going to head back to the castle, talk to her dad real quick, and that will get us that you know, sword dropped off. And I think we even get a little bit of gold for doing that. Alright, now, sometimes he's real tough to find. He might be wandering the grounds here or something. He might be back in that room, although that's where I've only ever found him back there once. I think he glitched out or something. I normally found him out here. He's either standing up on stage or he's sitting at one of these chairs at the table. And again, you know, rare occasion, one time I found him in here. Actually, not even in here. It was in this back room. And he acted like he was trying to walk and he was just kind of stuck. And then one other time I found him upstairs. Now, you can find him at night, too, up in his quarters, but I just usually find him during the day, and I don't bother him at night. So, you know, that being said, go ahead and talk to him, and that will get this sword dropped off, and that'll get us our reward.
From Mage. Ah, this must be the... Thank you. Please, take these few coins for services rendered.
So it's not much, but you know, 20 is better than 0. So from here, since we have our soul trap, I'm going to go do a spot I meant to hit like right after I got the soul trap on the first round. And go to the morgue, or whatever they call that in this game. And you already kind of saw the building from the outside. I was over there farming flowers. But we can go ahead and cast Soul Trap in there on skeletons, and those are going to fill up our petty soul gems for the empties that we just bought from our mage. Alright, but enough about me and my brain. Hashtag it's fun being me. Alright, now, this is a safe zone, but as soon as you talk to the priest, that'll get the side quest initiated. And I don't want my follower to go in there with me. Problem is he tends to go in there and kill all the skeletons in one hit, and then I don't even have a chance to cast the spell I need to cast. Okay, and be careful, you do not want to cast Soul Trap on friendlies, because they take that as a threat or an attack, and they'll, you know, turn against you. So be very, very careful where you're pointing your soul trap. That's another reason I don't want the follower in there with me. I don't want to accidentally cast it on him when he jumps in front of my shot. They have a bad tendency of jumping in front of you when you're trying to aim. Okay, so to get him to stay put, just say I need you to do something, then that'll open up a sub-menu.
What do you need?
You can tell him to wait. So he'll stay there until I come back for him. Okay, so here's the priest we got to talk to real quick.
Believe in mighty archaic God. I'm glad to know that because
okay, and he's looking for an amulet, so that's what we're going into that dungeon for, and it's real small, guys. It's, you know, real low threat. It's just, you know, I'm more coming in here for the soul gems to fill up my empty petty soul gems than I am actually for whatever prize he's going to give me. I think he only gives you a couple of gold. Alright, so I immediately go ahead and squat. Now there should be one to my left and to my right. Now unfortunately I don't have my sneak skill up right now, so depending on which one's farther away, I'm going to go for the closest one first. Okay, the other one's right in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and charge my spell up and get it ready. Okay, I just casted that, so now bump back over to bow. Okay, might as well not worry about crouching at this point anymore. Okay, now, you know, I'll take a little damage here, but I'm probably going to have to drink a potion, because I really want to make sure I can soul trap him, and my magicka's got to recharge her. Now, you can also drink a potion for, you know, I'll just demonstrate that real quick. So in addition to your health, you can also drink these for magic. You know, if you're just in a hurry, you don't want to wait or whatever, you can amp yourself up a little bit. Another thing I can do is put, you know, the apparel on to either give myself more magic, better regeneration, or both. Okay, you know what? Yeah, just to play it safe. Okay, he's soul trapped as well. Notice conjuration goes up every time you do that too. Nice little fringe benefit. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and wait this one out. I think he's a little lower threat with the weapon he's got. And there's only 3 in here anyway. So now I know I'm free to kind of run around and 1v1. Alright, their weapons are usually garbage. It's all the ancient weapons or whatever they are. Oh, these are also a unique thing to discuss. Might as well talk about that while I'm here. These unusual gems, there's, I think, I don't know, 12 or 24 of them throughout Skyrim or something like that. And no quest markers, guys, so it's all, you just have to know where they're at and get them all. I did it one time. Whatever prize I got did not make it worthwhile. Holy guacamole. Not only that, there's 1 or 2 where if you don't get it by a certain point in the game, you're never getting it. One of them gets burned up in a building along the way. And God, I can't even remember now how I lost track of the second one. But, so yeah, those stones are just a real kind of thing that I like to ignore. Don't forget your bump book while you're in here, by the way. And it's real hard to see. It's on the table, but it's camouflaged. So you just kind of got to look around for it until it lights up. But it is definitely on the right-hand table over there, toward the corner, toward the front there. Alrighty, that's pretty much it. We got our 3 soul gems. We got a couple other goodies. So now to clear the quest and get our follower back.
Anything? Ready to get going? Let's get going.
Okay, make sure your follower's actually following you. Sometimes he'll hiccup, and even though you say follow me, he won't actually follow you. Super annoying, and then you run off, you know, and you're like, whoa, where did he go? And now I return you to your regularly scheduled programming. I think the only place I really haven't been yet is going to be the inn, and there's quite a lot to do in the inn. So before I conclude video, I will go ahead and pop my head in the inn here real quick. Talk to all the people that are in here, and I recommend doing that, guys. Every single person, talk to everyone, do everything. You know, go through every dialogue option. There's a side quest in here that involves her, but we don't actually initiate that yet. There will be a guard that'll be looking for her later on in the game, and then she'll be the person that you have to talk to, and they're saying they're looking for the Red Guard woman. Okay, that's the girl that we needed to go talk to, that Mikkel or whatever, so I'm glad she's actually here now, because this will make us a lot quicker.
I'm a bard by trade.
Okay, so just tell him you need to leave her alone, and since we got her speech up a little bit, this should be easy to persuade.
Maybe you're right.
Okay, go ahead and talk to her and clear that quest.
Really? I'd thank the gods.
Now, if she's not in the bar here, that's okay. Just go back out to her vending station, and you can clear the quest with her there.
People say there is someone in Riften that can change
Ooh, that's
your
right. I
face,
didn't get that one
make
opened
you look
up yet.
completely different.
Okay, here's an opportunity to sell firewood. Now, unfortunately, I've got more than one, and you only need to sell one to trigger that to where, you know, you can get the credit for becoming the Thane. So anytime you can sell firewood or potatoes or anything like that, always sell at least one to the person for that reason. I'll give him the other firewood so I don't accidentally sell it to her, so I don't have to go chop more. Because it doesn't let you choose the quantity, unfortunately. When it says, do you want to sell something, it sells whatever you have in your inventory. Pretty much it for Whiterun, folks. Welcome. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was informative. And I know, guys, it's a lot of commentary. There's a lot I'm throwing at you, and if you've never played the game before, a lot of it might even sound a little Greek to you. Don't worry about it. Some of these things that I'm talking about, when the time does come, they'll kind of pop back into your head, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, he said something about that before. So, you know, just don't sweat it. If your head is spinning and you're going to bed, you know, envisioning things on the game or thinking about all these terms, then, guys, it's so immersive. There's, like, different races, different clans. They all have their own language, dialogue, gods that they pray to. It's so massive. Words just don't even do it justice. And not to mention, you know, the graphics are still pretty good. Now, it's not going to show through my channel, but the graphics in this village specifically, my mom walked in while I was playing one day, and she was like, oh, wow, what are you watching? I was like, watching? This is a video game, dude. She's like, that's a video game? Like, she couldn't believe it. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, well, it doesn't look like a video game. And then I got real close to, like, a character. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I see the video game now. Okay. But, you know, from distances, just at a quick glance, when you walk into a room, yeah, you'd never know unless you took a good look at it. So, yeah, good times. Anyway, guys, I hope that helped you all out. Hope it was fun and informative. When we come back, now that we've done all the Whiterun stuff and we're a little bit more combat capable, we're going to go raid the barrow. And, you know, depending on where my weight's at when I come out of the barrow, that'll kind of dictate where I do and don't go. But between doing the couple of quests, we got one from the guy in Riverwood to get his claw back. And then we've got the tablet that the guy at Dragon's Reach wants. So 2 quests in one spot. Not only that, there's plenty of looting to do in there. It's just a real good warm-up dungeon now that we've got good armor, we've got good weapons, and we've got the follower and the flame astronaut. When we come back.